My son keeps apologizing for what he'll do when he turns 7. He turns 7 tomorrow. My 6-year-old son Liam looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'm sorry for what's going to happen, Daddy. I don't want to hurt you, but I won't be able to stop it." Then he went back to coloring his dinosaur picture like nothing happened. That was 8 hours ago. His birthday is tomorrow at 6:23 a.m., the exact minute he was born. My wife Rebecca thinks I'm overreacting, that Liam's just being dramatic because he's nervous about turning 7. But she wasn't there 3 months ago when he first started saying it. I was making his lunch when he walked into the kitchen and said, "Daddy, I need to tell you something important." The tone made me stop. When I turn 7, something bad is going to happen. I'm going to hurt people. I don't want to, but I won't be able to control it. I'm sorry. I stood there with a half-made sandwich, completely frozen. Rebecca came in, and when I told her what Liam said, she laughed. He probably watched something scary at Aunt Linda's house. I wanted to believe that. That night, I checked his iPad history. Nothing unusual, just dinosaur videos and Minecraft tutorials. I checked his school records, asked his teacher if anything weird had happened. She said Liam was doing great, making friends, participating in class, no behavioral issues. I tried to forget about it, except Liam said it again the next week. We were driving to soccer practice when he suddenly said, "It's in 89 days, Daddy. That's when I turn 7. That's when it happens." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I asked what he meant, what was going to happen. He just stared out the window. "I don't know exactly, but people are going to get hurt. I'm going to hurt them. I keep seeing it in my dreams." His voice cracked. I pulled over and turned around. "Liam, buddy, what dreams? What do you see?" He wouldn't answer, just kept staring out the window with tears running down his face. Rebecca scheduled an appointment with a child psychologist, Dr. Nina Patel, who specialized in anxiety disorders in children. We brought Liam in, and she spent an hour talking to him while we waited outside. When she called us back in, her expression was carefully neutral. Liam is experiencing anticipatory anxiety about getting older. This is relatively common in children who struggle with change. He's created a narrative where turning 7 represents something scary, possibly because he's heard adults talk about the terrible 2s or the troublesome 3s. She recommended weekly therapy sessions and gave us strategies for reframing his thoughts about birthdays. It made sense. It was logical. We started the therapy sessions. Liam went every Thursday, and Dr. Patel said he was making progress. She told us he'd explained he was worried about becoming different when he turned 7, that he wouldn't be himself anymore. Classic childhood anxiety. We felt better. We had a plan, except the dreams got worse. Liam started waking up screaming every night, drenched in sweat, crying about blood and fire and people screaming. Rebecca would hold him while I changed his sheets, and he'd sob, saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to do it." We told Dr. Patel about the nightmares. She adjusted her approach, started using art therapy to help Liam express what he was seeing. That's when he drew the picture. I still have it, hidden in my office drawer where Rebecca won't find it. She thinks I threw it away. Dr. Patel showed it to us after a session, her professional composure slightly shaken. It was a crayon drawing, the kind any 6-year-old might make. Stick figures, a house, trees, a sun in the corner, except the stick figures were on fire. All of them, maybe 15 or 20 figures, drawn with red and orange flames covering their bodies. And in the center, one figure stood separate, holding what looked like a match. The figure had "me" written above it in Liam's careful printing. Below, he'd written, "When I'm 7" in shaky letters. My mouth went dry. This wasn't anxiety about change. This was something else. Dr. Patel said it was a breakthrough. Liam was externalizing his fears, putting them on paper where they could be examined. The violent imagery was concerning but not unprecedented in children dealing with trauma or extreme anxiety. She asked if there had been any fires in our neighborhood, any news stories Liam might have seen. There hadn't been. Nothing that would explain why a 6-year-old would draw himself burning people alive. We increased therapy to twice a week. Dr. Patel started using EMDR and other trauma processing techniques, even though Liam hadn't experienced any identifiable trauma. She said sometimes children absorbed ambient stress from their environment. We weren't stressed. Our marriage was fine. Our jobs were stable. Our families were healthy. Yet he kept apologizing for something that hadn't happened yet. 2 months before his birthday, Liam stopped sleeping in his own room. He'd wake up every night around 2 a.m. and climb into bed between Rebecca and me, shaking. When I asked why, he'd say, "I don't want to be alone when it starts. I need to be near you so I can warn you." Warn us about what? About what I'm going to do. His certainty was unshakable. This wasn't a maybe. To Liam, whatever was going to happen on his 7th birthday was as inevitable as the sun rising. I started documenting everything. Wrote down every time Liam mentioned the birthday, every detail about his dreams, every strange thing he said. "It starts with fire," he'd say while eating breakfast. "I light the first match at 6:23 a.m., exactly when I was born, or during bath time. The people at the party are going to be there. That's when it happens. When everyone is singing." Rebecca thought the documentation was making things worse, that I was reinforcing his anxiety, but I couldn't stop. That's when the real nightmare began. Full story is linked below or on my channel.